All right, everyone, what is the fastest way to stop your motorcycle, like if a car pulls out in front of you? So the technique is with the front brake, you want to do smooth, increasing pressure on the front brake. Now, why is that? If you grab the brake, well, that's always going to be bad, right? So you want to squeeze the front brake like an orange. Squeeze the brake, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 100. So when you first start to squeeze the brake, the suspension first has to go down. You see that? The suspension collapses, everything goes forward, right? It gets all that weight onto the front tire. It provides more and more grip, so smooth, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 70, 80, 100, and keep on squeezing all the way until you stop. Smooth, increasing pressure. You see that? Now, while that's happening, right, what is the rear doing? The rear goes up. So if you're riding around normally, start to get on the brake, the weight goes forward and the rear end extends. The suspension extends on the rear as the weight goes forward. So what do you think the rear brake technique would be? If the front brake is more, and the weight is going forward, well, the rear end is getting lighter. So if you just push down really hard on the rear brake, it's just gonna skid the tire or the ABS will engage. And it's always technique before technology. If you're riding around with a bike with no technology whatsoever, you should still be able to stop very quickly without skidding the tires, right? So once again, the front brake technique is smooth, increasing pressure on the front brake. The rear brake technique, you start off light while the weight is kind of still even on the tires, but as the weight goes forward and the rear end gets lighter, you need to taper off the rear brake. So the rear brake is light to lighter pressure, light to lighter pressure. Unless you're on a Harley or a cruiser or something like that, right? You're not really going to worry about doing a stoppie or doing an endo. But on naked bikes, sport bikes, adventure bikes, if you're squeezing the brake hard enough and you have good grip with the tire and the cement, you might even do a little bit of a stoppie at the very end of the stop. And that's perfectly fine. A 1 foot high stoppie can save you a couple feet of forward momentum. And if I had to, I'd rather do a little bit of a stoppie at the very end of the stop versus going 2 more feet and hit the kid or whatever is in front of me, right? And keep in mind, I don't care what kind of bike you have, what kind of tires, what kind of pressure, or what kind of brake pads you have, traction control, ABS, link brakes, integrated brakes, it doesn't matter. Unless you go practice stopping as quickly as you can very frequently, if something happens and you have to stop the bike very fast, grabbing on the brake, stomping on the brake, that is not a technique. You're just reinforcing bad habits. Too many times people say, well, I got ABS, I don't need to practice. That's crazy. ABS does not mean anti-crash. On my BMW 1300 GS Adventure over there, I could do stoppies on that damn bike, right? The brakes are so freaking good. But unless you practice, it ain't gonna do any good no matter what kind of bike you have, right? So first, what you wanna do, just practice stopping at about 20 miles per hour, second gear, right? Just put a rock on the ground or whatever, right? So say this little spot right there, go 20 miles per hour in second gear. At 20 miles per hour in second, you should be able to stop 15 feet or less, making sure you're back into first gear before you stop. Before your left foot comes off the peg, you should be back in first gear. Left foot then comes off. Why is that? You don't want to stop in second gear and then be in second gear, and now the car behind you is not stopping, you're just gonna get hit from the back, right? So 20 miles per hour, be in second gear, stop as fast as you can, 15 feet or less is the goal, being back to first gear before you come to a stop. You don't stop in second gear and then go to first. Just as a reminder, you could be in sixth gear. If you're coming to a stop, you always wanna be in first gear before the motorcycle stops. But get out there and practice. The moment you roll off the throttle, you squeeze in the clutch, you start to squeeze that front brake, you're doing light to lighter on the rear, you're downshifting back to first. It's a lot of things happening at once, but keep in mind, it's not step 1, step 2, step 3, and everything happens at once. Everything happens at the exact same time. But when you're first learning and you're first practicing this stuff, the emphasis should just be your hands. Pull the clutch in before you stop, just to make sure the bike doesn't stall, and smooth, increasing pressure on the front brake. That is the number one priority because the front brake is so much powerful than the rear, okay? So just master the front brake first. The first 20 times you do this, front brake only. Just get used to the front brake. And then start to add the correct technique with the rear brake, which is light to lighter pressure. Now, once you start thinking about the rear brake, you're gonna not do as good with the front brake, and your stops will get longer and longer. That means you're just not good enough with the front yet. And keep in mind, if you have a standard bike, a naked bike, sport bike, it's just gonna be pretty much all front brake, because there's so much weight transfer with the suspension. The tire's gonna be damn near off the ground. And if the tire is off the ground, how important is the rear brake? Well, it's not important at all. So if you have to stop fast, remember, this is for an emergency. A car pulls out in front of you, they blow through an intersection, a car door opens up, kid jumps out in front of you, whatever it is. If you're on pretty much any other bike besides a cruiser, you want to really get used to just that front brake. Master the front brake. Practice, practice, practice. And if you don't go practice this stuff, you're going to wish you had. Keep in mind, you could practice this stuff, 20 times in a row, and then you don't do anything for a month, you're going to lose it. If you don't use it, you will lose it. So the easiest way to practice this stuff all the time, once you get on the bike, the first mile of riding around, start off slow, go 10 miles per hour, stop really quickly. Then 15 miles per hour, stop really quickly. 20 miles per hour, stop really quickly, right? You just do 3 or 4 or 5 emergency brakes, really hard on the brakes before you get too far away from your house. And that does a bunch of things. Accelerating and braking, it warms up the tires, right? And make sure you have fluid. Make sure the bike is functioning properly. You didn't lose fluid. The bike isn't broken. It didn't get tipped over at night or whatever else. And if something is wrong, well, you're only a mile from your house. Just go back home and fix it, right? And you're mentally preparing yourself just in case you go to the first intersection and someone's on their phone, they just blow right through the intersection. You already did 4, 5, 6, 7 emergency brake procedures before you get to that intersection. So you're already mentally prepared as well. But once again, just as a reminder and to wrap everything up, the correct technique for stopping as fast as you can on any motorcycle, even in the dirt, it's the same thing. Smooth increasing pressure on the front brake while going light to lighter pressure on the rear brake. But knowing this is going to be completely irrelevant unless you go practice. You have to put in the work to practice this. And what's a good standard to start with? Second gear, 20 miles per hour. You should be able to stop 15 feet or less, being back to first gear before your left foot comes off the peg. Get out there and practice.